All right, guys, what's going on? Hope you've had a great day. We are almost to the weekend. And this time next week, old Don B is going to be headed to the beach. And stay tuned for that because I'm going to bring you a lot of beautiful content from Myrtle Beach. But what I want to talk to you today about, this really has a lot to do with a lot of missing children's cases, missing people in general. Unfortunate, hopefully not an unfortunate trend, but I do think there is a trend occurring. So we're just going to talk a little bit about, just missing people in general, the Summer Wells case, Sebastian Rogers, all that. I've been doing some thinking. So by the way, at the end of the video, let me know what you think. I know a lot of people, Seth included, are getting very impatient in Sebastian's case. Seth made it clear that he isn't really happy with how he feels about the police, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. Unless you're in his shoes, unless you're in the shoes of a missing, unless you're in the shoes of a parent with a missing child, you really don't know how you're going to feel towards investigators, police, and all them. So I can't, I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing one way or the other about, how Seth feels. Now, what I will say is I got to looking, and apparently almost 3 years, if you guys remember the Orrin and Orson West case, almost 3 years for that one, right? And still nobody. They still don't know. They still don't know where those two boys are, right? Another well-known missing child case, Harmony Montgomery. Took 5 years to declare her legally dead. 5 years. And then Adam and Kayla finally get sentenced in February 2024. Okay. So I got to thinking, and apparently when it comes to missing person cases, criminal or not criminal, okay guys, I'm talking criminal or not criminal, seems to be hard for police to solve both of them. Whether it's a missing adult that decided just to go missing on their own, or a child, or a missing, or a missing adult or a child that goes missing due to criminal circumstances. Okay. It seems to be very hard for police to solve. And the reason why I think so is because of just the sheer lack of evidence in a missing person's case. Now, if any of you guys are past law enforcement, let me know if I'm right about that. If anybody's watching this that's got some law enforcement investigative experience, let me know if I'm right about that. Is it because of the sheer lack of evidence in a missing person's case, whether it be criminal or not criminal? Okay, we'll just say that, either criminal or not criminal. Because I believe, I got to looking at some other cases, Harmony Montgomery, just missing persons cases in general. What's her name? Suzanne Morphew, right? Another missing person. Just, like I said, just the sheer lack of evidence. I mean, they did end up charging, Barry, but ended up having to let him go. They had to let him walk. They had to let him walk. Until, and see, they still have not rearrested Barry, even after they found Suzanne's body, and they know that she was killed with tranquilizer chemicals. They still have not arrested Barry. Barry Morphew. Well, I'd be sweating bullets if I was him right now. But guys, just the sheer lack of evidence, in my opinion, is the reason why these cases are so hard to solve and so hard to prosecute. Now, the other thing I want to talk about, and I really hate talking about this, but I've got to. And I don't know if there's anything law enforcement can do. I don't know if there's anything technology-wise that we can do to keep children either protected from going missing, or if they do go missing, we can find them. Now let me ask you this. It's a wild hair. Let me know what you think. Wild hair idea. But let me ask you guys this. We chip our pets. Well, some of us do. Some people chip their pets, right? Now just think about this before you answer it real quick. Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. If you were at Walmart, if you were at home, one minute your kids are there, the next minute they're not. If you have kids, this is for you. And you know what I'm getting at. What would you chip your kid? Would you chip your child if it meant if something bad happened to them, you could find them? Whether it's the outcome you want or not, it could really help in finding your child. And there's been a lot of people talk about that. I didn't really look too deep into it, but I mean, if things start, getting out of hand, and it becomes an epidemic, so to speak. I mean, one's too many. One's too many, guys. When parents start, and I'm not saying that Chris and Katie took Sebastian out. But there's a lot of red flags there. There's a lot of red flags. A lot of red flags in the Summer Wells case with the parents there, or ex-parents. She wouldn't no longer be in the house if she was still alive today, or if they found her. Just say if they found Summer Wells, she would immediately go into state's custody. A couple years ago, they were leaving kids in hot cars. I remember this one story where a dad took his kid to work and left the kid in the hot car on purpose. The child died because the man was having an affair. He was having an affair. Police found evidence of him having an affair, and just so happened the child was not going to be good for that whole situation. So he had to make it look like an accident. He accidentally left his kid in the car, forgot about it. No, he didn't. Police read between the lines after seeing all the evidence. It was on purpose. He took that child to his work and intentionally left that child in a car where it was going to get 90 to 95 degrees that day on purpose. And then, oh my God. Like I said, one child is too much. Now, police got real, I guess, pissed about people doing that, and they started catching on. There was one up here in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, where a couple done it at their apartment. Police started catching on. But now, have these people switched up their game, and they know now for a fact that, well, if it's a missing child, if the child just goes missing, it's hard for police and investigators to solve it because it's a missing persons case, and they know missing person cases are hard to solve. So are we about to see, I hope we're not about to see an explosion of these cases happen. I hope we don't see like a 10%, 20%, 40% increase in missing kids just because they're not needed by the parents no more, not wanted. You know what I mean? Maybe drugs are involved. Either way, it feels like to me it went from they were getting rid of them by accidentally leaving them in a hot car to making them go missing person. And are they doing that because it's a hard case to solve? So if, like I said, if you have any law enforcement experience, prior law enforcement experience, let me know if you think I'm right about it. Is it because lack of evidence, just a sheer lack of evidence in a lot of these cases? Now, considering that it took 3 years for Orrin and Orson West, roughly 5 years for Harmony and Montgomery, police just got lucky with Suzanne Morphew. I'm looking at the dates here, and with the situation with Summer Wells, I'm gonna, after analyzing everything, now don't hold me to this, guys, don't hold me to this, but I have reasons to say this, but I'm gonna keep it on the down low in case the bad guys are watching. I tend to think that there will be some kind of activity possibly leading to an arrest in the Summer Wells case in as little as 2 years, in we'll just say 2 to 3 years. I feel like, with what I know, I feel like there will be some kind of activity, arrest or something like it. There'll be some kind of break in the case in 2 to 3 years. Now I said, don't hold me to that. But I just want to keep that thought on the down low that you know exactly what I'm thinking on the down low, just in case the bad guys are watching. But I've we'll just say I've got a strong gut feeling that police will figure out and maybe make an arrest in about 2 to 3 years on Summerwell's case. I would love to tell you, but again, I don't want to tip off the bad guys if they're watching, and then they can be prepared for it. So, but yeah, 3 years for Orrin and Orson West, roughly 5 for Harmony and Montgomery. You know how Harmony, if y'all are familiar with the Harmony and Montgomery case, you know what happened, what transpired, and you know, eventually they started pulling a refrigerator out of an apartment or something like that, and yeah, 3 years for Orrin and Orson West. The siblings played a big role in that. So anyway, guys, I hope we are not going to start seeing kids go missing because people know it's hard for police to solve those cases. I hope we're not. But let me ask you this. What do you think about, you know, I mean, it's been a topic. It's been a topic. And let me know what you think. I mean, would you, given the technology, if it would last, you know, I mean, if the tech, like if you were to chip your child and that would last up to 10 years, 5 years, and that you just have to, you know, redo it. Because, I mean, kids can have cell phones, but if something happens to your child, that cell phone can get thrown in a ditch. Even if you're an adult and something happened to you criminally, somebody could take that phone and throw it in a ditch. And your body could end up 50 miles away. But a chip, on the other hand, and if someone kidnapped the child, they wouldn't necessarily know the child was chipped, right? And that right there might be what the family member would need to find closure, or law enforcement to ultimately find the child. And if they're able to rescue the child, definitely, I think it would play a big role. I think it would play a big role. But I know it's a sensitive topic, though. I've seen on the internet where it's a sensitive topic. A lot of people are like, you know, some people even say, "Oh, it's the mark of the beast. You're giving your child the mark of the beast." I don't know about all that, but you know, I know people chip their pets. I hope it don't get bad enough to where people have to chip their kids. I hope it don't. I really hope it don't. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think. Do you think that? Do you think these kids are going missing because the criminals, if it's criminally related, do you think the criminals have figured out that missing kid cases are hard to prove? And right now, if you need for them to get gone, that's the way to do it. Because you're not, I mean, like in Sebastian's case, I mean, you're not going to leave a 15-year-old kid in a hot car. It ain't going to happen. But if they go missing, they go missing, right? I still like to know what all that, I would love to know what was in that affidavit for the search warrant on that landfill. And I would love to know where the evidence came from for them to get the search warrant on that landfill. Where did that piece of evidence come from? Did it come from Sebastian's home? Did it come from a car? Did it come from an electronic device? God, I'd love to know. But other than that, do you think police have any other evidence in the Sebastian Rogers case? Don't know. All I can say is, Seth, bud, if you're watching this, hang in there. I know it's extremely painful. I mean, I don't know. I've never been in your shoes. A lot of us, there's some people out there that have been, that may have had a child taken. But just keep us, just Seth, if you're watching this, keep a good support team around you. Make sure they have your best interest in mind. And I repeat again, your best interest in mind, Seth. Only your best interest. Not this, not fame, not popularity, but your best interest. Okay? That's the only advice I could give you. That's the only, and if you feel the need to have to talk, I mean, you've got a lot of people's phone numbers. Pick up that phone. If you feel it sitting in, pick up that phone. Talk to someone. That's part of that support system for you, bud. But and as hard as it is to do it, Seth, as hard as it is, just try to trust law enforcement. Try to trust them. I know the parents. It seemed like they kind of went through the same thing you were going through in the Idaho 4 case. There was a lot of backlash on the police department there until they solved it, and then they were like, they were kind of, yeah, well, we were a little bit hard on the police, but they came through. And they were, the families were hard on the police, the public was hard on the police. But the police ultimately at the end knew what they were doing, and they caught the guy that we think is responsible. So, but again, I can't sit here and say I know how you feel, because I don't. All I can do is try to give you some advice, and for Sebastian's sake, as hard as it is, there's nothing wrong with keeping the fire under the police's feet. There's nothing wrong with that. If you think they may be putting Sebastian's case on the back burner, nothing wrong with keeping a fire under their feet. But just make sure with them that that's not what they're doing. It may feel like that's what they're doing. Communicate with them, Seth. Communicate with them. You communicate with them. Not nobody else. It's your child. You communicate with the Sumner County Sheriff's Office. Call them every day if you have to. And just say, hey, just checking in and see if, make sure you guys are still looking into it. Just make sure you guys are looking into it. And heck, it may get to the point, you never know, Seth, they might start calling you every day just to check on you and say, hey, just want to let you know, bud, we're working on it. We're working on it. So, but anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. Hope you enjoyed this little episode, and I'll see you on the next video.